Everybody, thank you so much. So good to see everyone. I'm super excited. So my name is Rich Baker, and as you just heard, I am an improviser, which means that I get on a stage in front of usually paying audiences, and I make up theater right there in front of everyone, which sounds absolutely insane to some people, but I've been doing it for over 20 years. And the reason that I'm here today is not because we're trying to turn you into staged improvisers. That's ridiculous. No, what we're here to do today is because the underlying skills that help improvisers do what we do on a stage, they help everyone pretty much do everything in life that involves interacting with another human being. I know it sounds like a big promise, but I can back it up, right? So the number one thing that we're going to talk about today is communication. How do we, as human beings, communicate with other human beings, right? We're also going to talk about what improv can do as far as helping you be better listeners, right? Better teammates, be more creative, more adaptable. There's so many of these basic human skills that you think, oh, that's play, it's for the stage. And it's like, I've had people tell me that they have better conversations with their spouses, with their kids, with their coworkers, with their doctors, I've heard everything, right? Because a big part of this is about being present, being right here, right now. So in a company, we're not trying to turn you into an improv troupe, but we do want people to show up to work feeling like they're in a community, right? So that's not a family. I hope that companies are not still trying to sell this. We're a family. You're not a family. That's unless everyone you work with you're related to, which I've seen a couple of those, but most people are not, right? But what you can be is a community. Hey, welcome, come on in. Right. So what you can be is a community. And what is a community? It's people who treat people like people. And that sounds obvious, but I bet everyone in here can relate to me when they say, at least at one point in your life, if not several, you have been guilty of treating another person like a task, like something that they have to do in order for you to move on with what you're talking about, rather than a human being, right? Anyone else? Just me? Okay, fair enough. No, all right, I got you. I appreciate that. Do we have any gamers in the house by any chance? Anyone play video games? A few of you, yeah. Anyone familiar with the term NPC? Heather, yeah, can you tell us what that means?
Non-playable character.
Yep, absolutely, right. So if you're not familiar with video games, you're in a world and there's all these characters, and sometimes those characters are controlled by another human being, but a lot of those characters are just NPCs. They're computers, right? And so as a gamer, we can treat them like they are literally tasks, like they're just something to do, right? My goal here is to help us not only recognize that sometimes we do that, but how can we prevent that? How can we treat each other more like a human? So we're going to focus on three things to do that: presence, connection, and play, okay? And we're going to exercise these skills, okay? So some of the stuff we're going to do might feel a little silly, and that's great. If you're feeling a little silly, I love it. What I'm not going to do is isolate anyone, embarrass anyone, make anyone do anything that's, completely out of their comfort zone. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be pretty simple to do, and all of you are going to be doing it at once for the most part. Cool. Any questions? Love it. All right, great. First thing we're going to do is in presence, talking about being right here, right now. So I'm going to give you a location, all right? And I want all of you, when I count to three, to just strike a pose as if you are in that location. There's no right or wrong way to pose, but I want you to be inspired by where it is, what you might do, and then just hit it. Sound good? Any questions?
So we're all doing this at once at the same time.
Yeah. Great question. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, I'm going to give you a location. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and everyone strike a pose. Cool. We'll go through a few of these. All right, great question. Here we go. You are at the beach in 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. We're getting some sun. We're having some drinks. We're putting on suntan lotion. We're looking at stuff. I love it. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Excellent. You can relax. Yes, thank you. Oh, nice. I love how you hold that. Like you're like, no, we'll keep it here. You're on direction. I appreciate that. All right. You're at the gym in 3, 2, 1. Oh, strong, strong, strong. Everyone's got muscles in this gym. Yes. I don't know what we're lifting like this, but it's good. Oh, and Mark's even pointing. This is my muscle. Nice. Well done. You guys can relax. Thank you very much. You are all intimidating. I love it. All right, great.
Mark is that
New
guy
location. What's that, Mike?
Mark is that guy at the gym.
Yeah. He's going. This is what I'm working on right here. This one. Right. Nice. All right. You're at Disneyland in 3, 2, 1. Oh, some of you are having a lot of fun. Some of you are scared to death at Disneyland. I love it. Very nice. You can relax. You can relax. All right, great. Great. Nice job. See, you didn't have much time. I gave you something and you had to just pick something, right? Did anyone at any point feel like, oh, I don't know what pose to strike or wonder if they were going to get it wrong? Did anyone have any kind of feelings like that? Sonia, nodding your head. Can you say more on that?
Yeah, I think it's always my instinct is to look around and see what other people do before. And so I kind of had to just try to like, okay, just do my thing. And yeah.
I love that. Yeah, very good. And that's such a human thing, right? We want to like, is everyone else doing this? Is okay what we're doing? Is that okay? I dig that. Cool. I think it's sign from Mark there.
Yeah, I felt overwhelmed by choice on Disneyland because I have so many different kinds of Disney experiences.
Nice. Excellent. Very good. Right. Oh, so we've got two ends of the spectrum, right? Like, is what I'm doing okay? And I have so many things I could be doing. Which one do I do? I love that. Maya?
I felt very much like I had nothing to do at Disneyland.
Oh,
I haven't been in a long time and I don't like it.
Here, have some of my experiences.
This is great. There's such Disneyland. Like we've got all ends of the spectrum here at Disneyland. I appreciate that. Oh, Margo, what you got?
And I've never been to Disneyland, so I don't know what you're talking about.
This is great. This is great. All these are good points. All right, we're gonna start with Sonia's real quick. This idea of like, is what I'm doing okay? Is everyone else doing it? Is this okay? Yes, I appreciate that instinct, and there are absolutely times where it's like, if I do the wrong thing, there are consequences, right? Thankfully, in these exercises, there are none. There's no stakes on the line. No one is going to have anything bad or good happen to them, depending on if you get it right or wrong. So I dare you to fail, right? So that's one of the things I'm going to mention a few times today is I dare you to fail at these, right? Not just like I don't care about them whatsoever, but like I'm trying, but I'm also totally okay if I don't get it right. Because hint, there's not a right answer to this kind of stuff, right? Mark, I love that you were overwhelmed with so many things to do. So you just pick one. And it's like, great. Yeah, just pick one because even though they all might be valid, any one of them is the right thing. And if we don't make a choice, we're making a choice, right? To not participate. So you just made a choice. We're going to do this one thing, right? Even though there's plenty of others left on the table. Maya doesn't like Disneyland and Margot's never been to Disneyland, which is great because we're not really at Disneyland. So you can also choose to not like it. You're like, I don't like this place. And that's fine too. Okay. That is fine. I didn't say you had to strike a pose of someone who is happy at Disneyland. You can strike a pose of the grumpiest person at Disneyland. Makes sense to me. And Margot says, I've never been to Disneyland. Fantastic. I've never been to a lot of places. But again, we're doing a little make-believe here. So you're allowed to just make a choice, make it up, because we're going to do a few more of these. And I bet there's some of these that none of you have been to. And that is okay. I just dare you to make a choice, dare to fail. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's great. Any other thoughts on this before we jump into the next phase? You guys are killing it. I love it. Okay, so what we're doing was striking a static pose, like a photograph. But if you're not familiar with the fashion that I don't know if people still do this, but for a while there, everyone loved the boomerangs on Instagram, right? You know what those were? Those like moving pictures. We use them a lot in social media, GIFs or GIFs, however you want to pronounce it, right? It's like a picture, but there's just like a little movement, and then it goes back, and it's almost like a repeating kind of thing. So now I want you to not only strike a pose, but to be a GIF or GIF in this scenario that I'm giving you. Sound cool? Questions? Mm-hmm. Oh man, you're a sharp group. I love it. All right, great. We'll start out with one that maybe you have been to before. Show me you're at a concert in 3, 2, 1. Nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. We got peace. We got our lighters going up. We got people enjoying the music. Maya, were you on stage in the concert? Were you like holding the microphone?
No.
Okay, guys.
Oh, I look like I could be.
Yeah. Well, that's an option, right? I say concert. People probably think, "Oh, I'm watching the concert," but you could be working in the back of the concert. You could be on stage.
I could be sweeping.
You could be sweeping. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? People do all kinds of things when a concert's happening, right? I love it. Great. All right. Let's get a little more silly with this. You're at an old West saloon back in the 1800s in 3, 2, 1. Nice. We got guns firing. We got gosh, you're going through those saloon doors, huh? Right. Very nice. Got a lot of drinking. Sure, of course. What else are you gonna do at a saloon? Drinking. Right. Are you like Maya, are you bartending?
I'm catching. I'm always working, huh?
I don't know. I look like you were handing a drink there.
I was trying to catch the drink from the bartender.
Ah, nice. Then one of
Okay.
those slick moves. I dig that. Great.
Yeah.
Super fun. Has anyone been to Old West Saloon in the 1800s before?
At Disneyland.
Okay. Great. I'll take it. But for the most of us, maybe we haven't. And you still made a choice. I really appreciate that. All right. You're on a pirate ship in 3, 2, 1. Yes, we got the eye patch. We got the glass. We got the we got the hook hand. We got the eye patch reveal. Oh, someone's hoisting a sail here. Very nice. Oh, good times. Great. Who here's been on a pirate ship?
Jolly
before?
Rogering.
I like it, Mark. Very nice. Who here's been on a pirate ship before? Anyone? Just Breeze, Margot, and
At
Mark.
Disneyland.
Okay.
The Pirates of the Caribbean does not count.
All right. Well, I'm not here. I don't know. I'm not here to do that. All right. Great. Last one. You are at Hogwarts in 3, 2, 1. Yes, everyone has a wand at Hogwarts. Yes, very nice. Great. Anyone happen to not even know what Hogwarts is? Is that an unfamiliar term to anyone? Every once in a while, believe it or not, like as popular as those books were, sometimes I still will do these workshops. I'll say Hogwarts, and people are like, "What is that? I'm sorry, I don't understand." And I'm like, "That's great. If you don't know, just make a choice." Mark, what you got?
I've been there too at Universal Studios.
Universal Studios, sure, yeah. That's because they don't have that at Disneyland. That's right. That's right.
Not yet.
No, well, okay. Great. Maya, I see anything?
No, I also like Disneyland. I dislike Hogwarts, but I was still able to use my imagination.
I love it. Great. And again, you're allowed to be grumpy at Hogwarts too, right? That's fine. Like, man, I don't like magic. That's fine.
I was Snape. I was just doing my Snape impression.
Excellent. Very nice. Okay. You're all killing it here. So now we're gonna up the ante a little bit. So you're good at striking a pose and even moving in that GIF format. So now you don't have to do the movement part. We're gonna go back to just striking a pose. But this time we're also gonna add some words to it. So 1 second here. If I did my tech right, I should have just changed all your screens to where now we're on the same order. So it should be me, then Breeze, then Mark, then Heather, then Kosh, then Margot, then Maya, then Sonia, then Hina, in that order. Is that everyone's order? Anyone not have that? Technology works again. Excellent. So we're going to go in that order. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strike a pose, but this time I'm not at a particular location. I am a piece of art. You can think of me as a painting or a sculpture. And Breeze, you're going to be like, you're going to pretend you're the artist who created me because you're going to name the piece. You're going to say, I present name of art piece, right? And when I say name of art piece, that means you title it whatever you want. So just as to throw this back to earlier, one, there's no stakes to this. So fail. Dare to fail. I dare you to fail. You can't do it wrong. And plus, it's art. If you've ever seen art before, the names sometimes don't make any sense, and that is fine too. So whatever you call it, it is the right thing. All right, Breeze. Let's. How about this?
I present. Don't hit me, bro.
No. Yeah, that artist was bullied a lot and was like, "Please, great, it's great." All right, now we're gonna keep going. So Breeze, I'd like you to strike a pose, and then Mark, I'd like you to present and name it, please. So go ahead, Breeze, when you're ready.
I present improper facial hair at the office.
Nice. Okay, nice, very good. All right, and you might see how this pattern's gonna go. Mark, I'm gonna ask you to strike a pose, and Heather for you to label.
The cheese is old.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. So Heather, will you strike a pose and Kosh will label? Yes.
I present voila magic.
Nice. Yes, yes. But harken back to Harry Potter. I love it. All right, Kosh, go ahead and strike a pose for Margot.
I present they went that away.
All right, Margot, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Go ahead, Maya.
I present I smashed the apple pie.
Oh no, it's a sad painting. Very nice. All right, Maya, strike a pose.
I present James Bond 2.0.
Yes, yes, yes. Finally, I love it. All right, Sonia's hit a pose. Nice.
I present. Oh my God! Did you see that?
I did see it. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Hina, strike a pose. I'll label it. I present You Can't See My Face. All right, very nice. Great job, everyone. We are all officially artists and we are art. All right, very good. So we struck a pose, then we moved it on to a GIF or GIF, and then we became artists. The idea, there's plenty of takeaways that we're gonna have for this, but the main point that we're trying to make is the idea of being present, right? You can't do any of these things that we just did if your consciousness is divided, right? If your bandwidth on what you're paying attention to is a little bit out here, you're not gonna get the memo, right? If you have any thoughts on these takeaways, I'd love for you to share them, but no one has to. I'm not going to put anyone on the spot, but if you're inspired by anything that we've done so far, I'm like, oh, I see how this could help and apply to my work life or anything like that. I'd love to hear it. Does anyone have any thoughts? Oh, Heather, yes, please.
Yeah, well, often we talk about forming, norming, and storming in a group, and I just really thought that exercise where we were doing different gifts and we all had a wand, like I felt that was like instant norming.
Yeah, right. Like that. Is it okay if I have a wand? Oh, everyone's doing it. Yeah. So it's normal to have a wand. Oh, I dig that. Oh, nice. Storming, Norman. What was it?
Forming, norming, and storming.
Oh,
so you get in a group, you meld in the group, and then you get things done as a group.
I love that. I'm stealing that, Heather. I'll give you credit though if that's cool. Nice. All right, Breeze, you got something?
Yeah, sometimes you walk into someone's office or their cubicle or something, and don't even take a moment to observe them or be aware of what they might be doing, and then just start talking and interrupt them in the middle of something important. And this seems like if you take a moment, you can sort of evaluate what's
Hey,
going
I
on.
said I was sorry, man.
Hey, I'm never going to forgive you for that.
Okay.
You can evaluate before you speak.
I love it, Breeze. Yeah, absolutely. Right. And best way to do that is simply sometimes just take a pause. Just take a pause. And it's not hugely, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I come into your office, and even though I've got an agenda, maybe I take a breath and assess the situation. Oh, is someone on the phone? Maybe I shouldn't talk. I don't know about you. When I was a little kid, I was the worst at that. My mom be on the phone, be like, Mom, I need your attention right now. She's like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, no, now. But as adults, we have a little more self-control, at least sometimes, right? Gosh, I saw a hand there.
Yeah, the last one, striking a pose, and we're taking turns. That's a good example of how everyone's has a different perspective of the same of a pose, right? We're all so it kind of you can apply at work. You have a problem. Everyone has a unique perspective of that. So listen and hear everyone's thoughts. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I learned a term not too long ago called sonder. If you don't know this term, it's the moment you realize that everyone else has their own life and is doing their own thing, and that it's not just about you. This is a real thing. 2-year-olds don't have this, like it's not in their brain. Like 2-year-old just thinks they are the god of their universe, and they don't have a choice not to think that, right? We have the choice, but sometimes we default into that 2-year-old mindset every once in a while. It's like, it's all about me, right? I dig that. Margot, I saw a hand there.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of thinking ahead. I was thinking, like, can I say something that's funny? I was thinking about lines I could say, but I hadn't seen the person before me do anything because I was kind of feeling pressure to. So I wasn't totally present, I guess you would say.
Oh, and we were working on presence. I love it. That's a dare to fail. Perfect, perfect example. Look, being present is not something that we are necessarily naturally going to be great at, especially in a world where our attention is constantly divided, right? Cell phones and apps and computers and email and meetings and schedules and calendars. And it's like we're constantly divided. So if you don't feel like you're 100% great at presence right now, you're right where you should be, because almost no one is at this point. So I appreciate that, Margo. Mark, what you got?
Yeah, I understand what Margot's saying, because while something's happening, it's like a Rolodex spinning of ideas. And I guess if you just let go of it and don't take any of them, then maybe you end up being present. So if you just discard everything that your brain throws up to you, is that a way to do it?
Yeah. I mean, I love the way you worded that, right? Yeah. And it's not easy. Your brain is coming up with ideas because that's your brain's job, and we love our brain for it, right? But
yeah,
sometimes
do people still know what a Rolodex is?
that's a good point. Yeah. If anyone here is of a certain age, a Rolodex was a paper version of your phone's contacts back in the day. Anyway.
I know that.
Yeah, I think everyone here is probably good, but I've absolutely worked with people who would not know what that is. Sonia, saw hand.
Oh, yeah, kind of going off of what Margot and Mark were saying and making a choice. You kind of made me realize that, because something with like not being in the present, I was worried of not like honoring Maya's pose, and I was like, oh, I want to do something really good that she likes and or that they like, and it made me realize, okay, just make a choice, and that's going to honor them. Yeah,
I love it. Yes.
Thank you for
just
that. It's a good point, wanting to please each other.
I love that. Great. Bruce, we'll get just 1 second. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Right. So it's like, you can't be wrong, but you also want to be inspired by the person, right? Even though there's not necessarily a right or wrong thing to do because of that. If we ignore the person, then we're kind of bypassing the whole thing, right? So I have this silly little reminder in my head. It's a little cheerleader that's always up here, and that cheerleader is always going, be affected, be affected, right? Am I being affected by who I am talking to, by who I'm interacting with, right? And then the other side of it, am I affecting them, right? If we're not affecting each other, we're not having the most productive talk we could. Breeze, last point, what you got?
Yeah, just following up on what Sonia said, it just made me realize, wow, everyone's point of view was valid.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Everyone's and that is not always what the business world does, right? It's like everyone has their place. It's like you're the ideas person, you just do this, stay in your lane, stick to your job kind of thing, right? But we have all probably examples of where good ideas, really good ideas that became something important, came from a place where I wasn't necessarily looking for an idea, right? Whether it was something random or it was someone whose idea it wasn't. Oh, Mark, you got something?
Yeah, I'm just going to back that up because, statistically, you're right. For innovation, you need people who are not in the thing that you're trying to innovate, because they're not looking at it. They need to step outside them. It's why it always comes from other places. Like when they invented how to value stock options, it came from a heat sink transfer formula from physics. What those things have to do with one another, who the hell knows?
I love that, right? Cross-pollination of ideas. You guys are killing it. I love all your feedback. Thanks so much for this. So everything we're doing is going to involve presence, but we're going to specifically focus on the idea of connection right now, right? So being present with someone, and that's being right here right now, that's good, but then actually connecting with them, right? Like, okay, I'm here, but then are you mattering to me? Are we affecting each other, right? So we're gonna do something this is gonna be the silliest thing we've done so far, so I just dare you to keep that dare to fail attitude and embrace the silliness, right? I call it move and sound like me. And it works like this. I'm going to make some kind of sound and some kind of movement. And then Breeze, we're gonna keep this running order that we have. If you would, so you're gonna then copy me, right? So you're gonna try and move like me and sound like me. And it's okay if you can't do a perfect impression of me. That's not the goal, right? Again, we're not trying to be correct here. And but you're just gonna try and copy me the best of your ability. And then after you do it, then we're both gonna do it at the same time. Okay. So let's give it a shot. All right. So if I said, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Now let's do it together. Whoa, whoa. Nice. Very good. Right. Yeah. Sonia, getting on the action a little bit too. They're nice. I love it. Very nice. Great. Right. So silly, pretty silly stuff, right? You're like, why are we doing this? We're adults. But we're doing it. So let's do it some more, right? So Breeze, why don't you come with a different movement and sound that Mark's gonna copy, okay? Give it a shot.
You're fired.
You're fired. You're fired.
All right, nice job. Very good, very good, very good. Excellent. I love that. For my own sake, if I could add one more rule after the fact, which is, and I appreciate you giving this example, Breeze, in the beginning. If we could add the rule of let's not make them actual words, right? I want them to make just like a sound, right? So you're fired. That's a no one's fired here. That was a joke, but we don't need any kind of messaging whatsoever. So let's just make it a noise or a sound of some kind. Cool.
Yeah.
So Mark, give us an example.
Boo boo yabo.
Wow, nice. All right, Heather.
Woo woo yabo.
Together.
Boo yabo.
Wow, that was embracing the silly right there. I love it, Heather. Keep it going.
Shaka shaka shaka.
Shaka, shaka, shaka.
Shaka
Shaka, shaka, shaka.
Yes, I love it. All right, cause something different. Yeah, there it is. Oh, you guys got this down. All right, Margot.
Bush, bushka, bushka.
Push, 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 push.
All right, close. That's when we dare to fail. I love it. Yeah, very nice. All right, Maya.
Whoa, whoa.
Yes, nice. Go for it, Sonia. Together. Yeah. It's like that Harry Potter thing, I think. That's very close. All right, great. Hina, take it home. Last one.
Oh,
What? Oh. And together?
oh.
Nice job, everybody. Very good. Let me ask you a question. Was that the silliest thing that you have done today? All right, that's fair. Some of you have very silly lives. I'll take it. But that might be the silliest thing that I ask you to do right here, right? So one thing that you had to do in that, which you all embraced amazingly, which was you had to postpone judgment, right? If you're judging like, what is that? Where'd he come up with that? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Any of that judgment is going to get in your way of being able to honor what the exercise was, which was simply to repeat and then come up with something new, right? So we had to take judgment out of it. Is judgment important? Is it helpful in certain situations? Absolutely. Do human beings usually tend to go on the side of too much judgment in too many situations? 100%, right? If people say like, well, I don't ever want to not judge again. I'm like, if you think you're close to that, then you're doing pretty great. We need to get you to judge more. That's going to be a very easy thing to do, right? Margot, you got some?
Yeah, I was thinking percentages. I don't know, like 85% of communication is based on body, not words. I don't know what the statistics are, but this would be a fun thing to do in the hallways at work. Like when you see people, just like do this funny little movement and like get everybody engaged in doing something a little silly or different, especially towards the end of the day when everybody wants to go home.
Yes, right. There's this idea, and the next thing we're talking about is play. But as a sneak preview, as you brought up, I appreciate that you did. work and play are not opposites. All right, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, but infusing little moments of fun like that in your work where people are on board with that, like, hey, let's do that silly thing. Brr, 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 and then we just go on our day. Give yourself a little smile, a little uplift, feel connected to a person. It took what, 8 seconds? I love that. Ooh, I dare you to take that. Take it, and run with it. Yes. Very good. Any other thoughts? Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. All right, so this one is, if any of these is going to put you in your head a little bit about right and wrong, it's going to be this exercise. But I want to just gently remind you, 1, dare to fail, and 2, you can't really be wrong. It's all made up. Right. So I'm just going to reverse, or I'm just going to change up some running order here a little bit, just because we've had the same one, and why not make it a little different? All right. So this, I call it finish the phrase. It works like this. I'm going to say a word that is the first word in a 4-word phrase. Then Heather, so everyone should be me, Heather, Hina, Kosh. Everyone got that when I moved everyone around? Yeah. Noise. Technology again. So I'm going to say a word. Then Heather's going to say the second word in that phrase. Hina's going to say the third word in that phrase. And Kosh is going to say the 4th word in that phrase. The thing is, we don't know what that phrase is until it's said, right? So we're making it up. So Heather's just going to go off, going to be inspired by whatever word I say to say the next word. And Hina's going to be inspired by those two to say the third word, and Kosh for the 4th. If the phrase doesn't wind up making sense, that's okay. Right? Again, what I don't want you to do is just say any random old word, because who cares? I want you to be paying attention, but also don't have this judgment on of like, am I doing it right? Or if you're inspired, go ahead and say it. Cool. Once the 4 words are out there, then I will say the whole phrase as one unit just by myself there. Let's give it a shot, shall we? This
Is the
Day.
This is the day. That was great, right? Is that the best phrase ever? No, but we're not trying to come up with good phrases. We're just trying to, come up with phrases. I love it. All right, so Heather's going to start this one. It's going to end in Mark, and then Heather will say the whole thing. So go for it.
sheep, dream,
Today.
Fervently.
Say the whole thing, Heather.
sheep. Sorry. Sheep,
fine.
sheep, dream, today, fervent.
Yes, very nice, very nice. They do, they or they might. We don't know. I'm not a sheep. I can't tell you. All right, you guys doing great. That's exactly like, did that sentence necessarily make sense or accurate in the world? Who knows? Who cares? None of our business. Hina, you're gonna start this one. Margot, you'll end it. Then Hina will say the whole thing. Go for it.
No.
1.
Cares.
Bananas.
No one cares bananas.
Yes, very nice. Excellent. Margot trying to throw in a funny word in there. Bananas, it is a funny. There's a lot of fruit words are funny words. Bananas, kumquat. These are silly words, you know. All right. Kosh, you're going to start this one. Maya, you'll say the last word, and then Kosh will say the whole thing. Go for it.
Traffic.
Guava.
Meatballs.
Cake.
Do I repeat it, right?
Yeah, then you say the whole thing. Yeah.
Traffic, koala, meatball, cake.
There it is. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, you guys, I love it. All right. So we get it. We got to sell some comedians in the group. I dig it. It's very nice.
Hey, I didn't want to be left out of the fruiting. That's all.
No. You got to get your fruits in there, right? But again, I just want to throw it out there. Was that even a sentence? Did it make even grammatical sense, let alone any kind of logical sense? Absolutely not. But does that mean that Kosh can't repeat it? Of course, you can just say it whether it makes sense or not. That's embracing this dare to fail, this pretendness that we're doing. Mark, you're going to start. Breeze, you're going to end it. Let's give it a shot.
Fairness.
Crystal.
Clear.
Hope.
Fairness. Crystal clear hope.
Ah, very nice. That's a very different sense we've had so far. I like that. Margot, start us off.
Cars.
Run.
Backwards.
Always.
Cars run backwards always.
Yes. I love it. Go ahead, Maya.
Pickles.
Taste.
Yummy.
Good.
Pickles taste yummy good.
Yes, they do.
Yep, I love it. All right, Breeze, go for it.
Dolphins
Have
Many
Holes.
Dolphins have many holes.
That's true. That's true. They do. I mean, humans do too, but also dolphins, right? Absolutely. All right. Sonia, take us home.
we
Are
Joining.
Together.
we are joining together.
oh my goodness, we are. We're doing I feel yes. Oh my gosh, great job, y'all. Most groups struggle with that mightily. Y'all just you ran with it. I dig it. And I just want to point out, like, of all the phrases, there was one: cars run backwards always, right? Did anyone have a little flash in their mind of like, no, they don't? We can't say that. That's not accurate. Anyone? Maya, you get that?
I
Yeah.
did, of course. I was
Absolutely.
like, cars drive forward.
Yeah, right? They don't always drive. They have all kinds of ways they drive, right? Mark?
I just wanted to switch the always and the backwards because then it would have sounded better.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We need I like things that sound good. But what I love is that oh yeah, go ahead.
I see why this would be good for like creative marketing stuff, but how does this help accounting?
So let me ask you, do accountants ever deal with human beings?
Oh, all the freaking time. We have to
Right?
extract information from them.
Yeah, right. Now my mom was actually an accountant, so I can speak on this with some experience. I've met a lot of accountants, and I haven't always found them to necessarily be the best at peopling. I don't know.
That's why we become accountants.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. But you still have to deal with people, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then let me ask you this: just because you're an accountant, you deal with numbers, does that mean that you never do anything that requires creative thinking or problem solving skills?
Just cooking the books.
Cooking.
Okay,
That sort of leads to long jail sentences. So
yeah, we're not here to debate that. All right, Maya, what you got?
I write copy for the company.
Yeah.
So this is really useful because I use the thesaurus a lot to try to think of new ways. But now I know that maybe I can open up a blank Word document and start getting a little playful with my words to kind of generate new ideas in my writing.
Yes. Yeah. Right. There's just like there's no consequences to these improv. There's no consequences to anything you write on a blank sheet of paper. Right. It's just for you. As someone who's written a lot myself, I can tell you the only way that I could write anything was to write bad stuff until good stuff eventually came out.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Mark.
If I hear what you're saying, what you're kind of saying is that when we try to get information from people, we kind of have to meet them where they are, and so understand how they're fucking it up so we can correct it without getting angry at them, which might improve our lives.
Yeah. Expletive notwistanding, absolutely.
All right. Fair point.
It's your company. You can. I'm not going to, but
I see what you're saying. That is useful. Yes. Okay.
But I love the way you're saying is meet people where they are, right? So in your mind, you might like, I need these numbers from this account, and I need them right now. But what if the accountant is overwhelmed with work, right? What if there's other circumstances? Like we meet them where they're. Let's connect.
No, you know what it is? It's getting information out of sales. Hey, we're busy selling. Hey, if we don't get the information, we can't tell you how you're doing. So it's that.
That's right. We're going to throw every department under the bus today. It's sales, it's accounting, it's human resources.
They are our heroes. I promise.
I love it. Very nice. These are great points. Anything else on this whole idea of connection? Great stuff, y'all. All right. So we've been clearly embracing some playfulness this whole time, which is awesome. But play is important. It is it's a part of this healthy breakfast for adults. And yet we don't play near enough as adults. I'm very lucky. I get to play kind of for a living, right? So I play a lot. But there are people who go weeks without really feeling presence, connection, and flow, which are the three ingredients to play? Am I here? Am I connected? Am I flowing? Right? That is the environment that sets us up for play. And again, I want to harken what I said earlier already. Play and work are not opposites. Right? So let me ask you this. Have you ever done a menial task, but found a way to make a game out of it and make it fun, like dishes or laundry or something like that? Anyone? Yeah, right. Okay, some of you are like, no, I'm only bored when I do stuff. Fair enough. Right. Or what about this? Have you ever done a task that in and of itself wasn't fun, but you did it with someone and you had a good time because of how you were connecting with them while you did this otherwise boring task?
Because there was awesome music in the background. Yes.
That can help too. That can help. That's going to come into play a little bit later, Mark. I appreciate where your head's at there. But yeah, why not set the environment for it too, right? Maya, got some?
Oh, no, I mean, I do. I send out acknowledgments for work, where I'm thanking people who have given us money, and it includes like tax IDs and like very important materials that they need, but also needs to be like very friendly. Anyway, so I have to figure out a way to do all the steps of sending out emails with the correct letters attached to them and putting them into a management software that we use. So that's like, yeah, it's a big task because not only is it very menial, like you're saying, but it's high stakes.
Yeah. No, they do a great
send
job.
the wrong letter to someone else, or else everyone in the company looks bad. That's on me.
Yeah.
No, Maya does a great job with her team. She does.
Yeah, there's stress. There's stress that could be had. So any way to make that fun would be great.
Yeah. And play is absolutely helpful in diluting stress. I dig that. Very cool. Excellent. All right. So we're gonna have a little bit of play with this. So this one's called Same Line, Different Delivery. So I'm turning you all into actors for a brief moment here. Don't worry, that's we don't have to do real auditions, but I'm gonna give you a line of dialogue that just a simple line, nothing fancy. But what I want is everyone to go around. I want you to say that line of dialogue and try and say it in a way that's different than a way that anyone else has said it, whether it's how you pause when you say it, your inflection, how you move when you say it. I just want to try and say it differently. You don't have to say it good. Don't have to say it funny. Doesn't have to be interesting, just different. Cool? All right. The line is, the newsletter is very good this month. Heather, give it a shot.
The newsletter is very good this month.
Wow, nice. All right, Hina, say it differently.
The newsletter is very good this month.
Yeah, nice. How about Kosh?
The newsletter is very good this month.
Nice. Good, Mark.
Yeah, the newsletter is very good this month.
Margo?
You all know that newsletter is really good this month.
Oh, yes. All right, Maya.
The newsletter is very good this month.
Oh, no, so scared. Breathe.
The newsletter is very good this month.
Nice. Go ahead, Sonia.
The newsletter is very good this month.
Yes, very nice. Oh man, see, it sounds on the surface like it's like a happy statement, like, oh, it's good this month, right? But it was a question. Someone was very scared. Someone was very mad about it, right? There was some confusion going on. We can play with these words, right? We have time for one or two more. Hina, what's a random line of dialogue we could throw around the circle here?
Dare to fail.
Oh, a little marketing here for me. I'll take it. Very good. All right. We'll start with Kosh. Dare to fail, but say it differently.
Dare to fail.
Mark?
Dare to fail.
Ooh, Margo.
Dare to fail.
Maya.
Dare to fail.
Yes. Breathe.
Dare to fail.
Nice. Sonia.
Dare to fail?
Dare to fail.
Fail to dare.
No, okay. Yoda, I
Be
love
fair
it.
to Dale.
Nice, nice. And Hina, what's one different way you can put on it?
Dare to fail.
Yes, make it a musical. I love it. Very nice, right? So we are just 9 adults who just laughed and had a lot of fun, sang a line of dialogue in different ways, right? Fun, playfulness does not have to be this like, oh, let's plan a thing and let's get the party favors and let's get the budget and all this. There's absolutely, events are awesome. I love a good event, but we can infuse play into things on the daily. There's all kinds of fun stuff, and again, not at the expense of work, right? Not at the withdrawing from it, but to re-energize the humanness of work, right? Anyone ever feel burnout about their job? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've never ever had anyone not raise their hand when I asked that, right? Part of burnout isn't necessarily the number of hours that we're putting in, it's how we're feeling when we're putting those hours, right? We've all had days where we had to do work, but it felt like it went by like this because there was fun, there was engagement, there was flow to it, right? And yet the larger business world, not any particular company, but most companies tend to not only not infuse fun, but almost withdraw it like a leech and take all of it away, right? And yet, so it's kind of my job is I want to help infuse more fun into these environments. Okay, so I've talked a lot. You've given me some great feedback. I want to just throw it out to you again. So all this stuff with this presence, connection, play, affecting each other, all this kind of stuff. I know how it helps in improv, but and we've talked about it a little bit, but what are some other ways that you're like, oh, I see how this could help me with, etc. Any thoughts you have? No pressure. Breeze, what you got?
Yeah, this saying it's the same thing in a different way kind of makes me feel like if say a coworker says something, it's not so much the words that the coworker's saying, but to try to maybe pay attention to the feeling underneath the words, because maybe the coworker's saying, "Oh yeah, you did a really nice job on that report," but maybe they're like, "Oh, you did a really nice job on that report," and then go, they sound annoyed. I wonder why they're annoyed, and then maybe talk about that.
Ooh, yes. In the theater world, we call it subtext, right? This idea of, and we just proved it, right? You can say one thing and your meaning can be something else. And if we're not fully present, it is very easy to miss the actual meaning of the words rather than just the words themselves. That's a great point. Breeze, Mark, what you got?
What happens when HR outlaws subtext because they want clear communications?
I mean, that'll be I don't know how to answer that.
It might be useful. We'll see.
It might be useful. Yeah. Heather, what you got?
Well, I really liked what you said earlier about how sometimes we treat people like tasks, and I know sometimes I've done that to my teammates. So I'm just going to carry that with me a little bit more.
Ooh, I like that. Yes. Take all of this and run with it. As anything that help will take it away. I still have some people that I've worked with in years, and they see me and they're like, be affected. I'm like, yeah. Right. If I can just make one person have an imaginary cheerleader in their head, I've done my job.
Yeah.
Good. Margot.
I was thinking, if you worked with somebody for a long time, which I have, and I think sometimes I know exactly what's going to come out of their head. But when we're doing that word at a time sentence, like I don't always know what somebody's going to say. And to be really present in the moment, I can hear them, observe them without going into that. I know what they're going to say the same thing they always say.
Yes.
But to be more open to differences.
Oh, Margot, I love it. You got a sharp group. The one thing I didn't speak to earlier, and this great reminder, is our brains are lazy. If we're not familiar with this concept, our brains want to get the job done, but use as little energy and resources as possible, right? And so that often does exactly what Margot just said, right? It's like, I know what this person's going to say before I even talk to him, so I'm barely going to listen. I'm going to predict it. I'm going to assume. I'm going to respond to the thing in my head rather than the thing they actually say. Now, sometimes we're right. Right. And that's where it can get a little tricky, right? Because sometimes our brains are like, see, we paid attention. They said exactly what we thought. And so why are we going to pay attention? But it's like, sometimes our brains are right, and sometimes they're not. And to me, the effort that it takes to be present is very much worth what you're going to gain out of it, rather than do exactly what we're talking about there. Good stuff. Any final points? Really appreciate working with y'all. Thanks so much for being here. So I have if you want more of me, you can find me on LinkedIn. I have a newsletter I put out once a month about these different topics, improv, communication, that kind of thing. You can go check out more at www.playlikeateam.com. And I'm going to be getting more resources put up there, and different blogs and videos, different things of that nature, all about just this, like, communicating with people, being a team, all that kind of stuff. So the way I'm going to end this, and I'm going to say that I'm not going to, if anyone feels uncomfortable doing this, I'm not going to force you. But so if you don't want to do this, you can turn your cameras off. But let me tell you what it is before you make your decision, because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to play a little bit of music, kind of what Mark was talking about earlier. And when I'm going to spotlight someone, and when I spotlight you, I want you to move to the music. I'm not saying dance. If you want to dance, dance, but you don't have to feel the pressure to dance, right? I just want you to do any kind of movement works, but dance is great too. And everyone else, whoever's spotlight, whatever they're doing, I want you to try and do it along with them. Try and match them, right? Obviously, don't hurt yourself if they're doing something that's you're not physically cool with. Don't injure yourself. But other than that, try and copy them. And I'm going to switch the spotlights to different people. And so we're going to wind up moving in various different ways. And that's how we're going to end it. Cool. Any questions? Mark?
I'm injured, so I'm going to opt out of this.
That's great. Yeah. Just turn your camera off. Absolutely. Yeah. Great. 100%. Right. And if anyone else is done filming it, you can just opt out. No problem. But if your camera's on, I'm going to spotlight you. So let's end it with a little share. Let's move. There's no talking to you. It's so sad that you're leaving. It takes time to believe it. But after all is said and done, you're gonna be the lonely one. Oh, do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough, no. Do you believe in life after love? I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough, no. What am I supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you? We'll call it there. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for attending a Play Like a Team workshop. Have a great one. Till next time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.